So where the administration is connected to the applied part of physics?
Physics is concerned.
What are main causes of honor killing? Literacy or
Sir, honor killing is basically related.
Can you elaborate on the significance of data in current time?
What is the difference between 1230 and 1250?
May I come in, sir?
Please come.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
May I have a seat, sir?
Please sit. Navkiran,
Yes, sir.
please tell us something about you.
Sir, as you mentioned, my name is Navkiran Kaur. I am from Ludhiana in Punjab state. Sir, I've done my schooling from DAV Public School, Ludhiana. After that, I've done my bachelor's in physics from St. Stephen's College, Delhi University. Then I pursued my master's in physics from School of Physical Sciences, JNU. After that, I was working with ONGC as an executive geophysicist. And sir, right now, I am a Punjab Civil Services officer undergoing my training at Chandigarh.
So probation is going on.
Yes, sir.
So how many months gone by?
Sir, I joined in mid-January. Yes, sir.
Okay. Which service you are in there?
Sir, I'm currently an assistant commissioner under training in the civil side, like executive.
So this is the administrative side.
Yes, sir, administrative side.
How many posts were there this time?
Sir, this time total 75 were there, and in the administrative side 15 were there.
15 were there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I was surprised that becoming a physicist is very hard, and but for a person who is very much interested into it, so much effort,
Yes, sir.
is given. Then why is such a switchover for a journalist post?
Yes, sir.
You could enjoy better contentment in life and in the work satisfaction so far.
Sir, I worked as a geophysicist at ONGC, which was related to my subject of study, and that is why I joined the work there. But sir, as much intellectually enriching that job was, sir, it confined me to a particular field, while I wanted my career to be related to the grassroots level, where I can have a direct interaction with people and enable in the problem solving. And civil services allows us to do that.
Okay, if the applied part of physics is seen,
Yes, sir.
so where the administration is connected to the applied part of physics, if you can tell 2 or 3 observation of yours.
Yes, sir. Sir, as far as physics is concerned, sir, nowadays more and more of administration is data driven. So the techniques that we learn in physics, which help us to analyze this data, for example, during COVID-19 also, scientists were predicting the peak of the pandemic and then micro-containment zones locations. So all that was based on data, which we learned from the statistical part of physics. And sir, then in the philosophical side, if we look at things, then there is a concept of magnetism in physics. Sir, in the same way, if we consider the human body to be a magnet, then if we have positive thinking, we will attract positive thoughts. And that is a mindset which helps in administration, because it is a very complex job, and in having an optimistic mindset enables us to do good work.
Good. So one of the example of physics, I can connect that the collector's building or DM's building,
Yes,
wherever the estate is, there is a clock, mechanical clock, and this fashion is still continuing. You will find a clock tower.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the person is also there on the government post to maintain it, greasing it, observing it daily. Okay, so it is having certain mechanics inside it. So the pendulum is also there in some of the mechanical clocks.
Yes, sir.
In winter, what happens to the clock time?
Sir, I'm not very aware of this, but sir, as far as I can recall, sir, during the winters, the grease of the oil that is there to the pendulum that might freeze, and it can result in a slowdown in the movement of the pandemic, which can lead to a fluctuation in time.
So why the pendulum? What is the work of pendulum in a clock?
Sir, in the ancient times, we used to have pendulum clocks which used to ring at certain times of the day. Sir, I just know that much.
Okay, if I give you a formula, T equal to T is directly proportional to under root L upon G.
Yes, sir.
What is the full formula?
So L is the length of the pendulum, G is the acceleration due to gravity. So the time period of a vibrating pendulum is directly proportional to the length of the string of the pendulum.
So the tension given to the ring is gradually releasing its energy, moving the pendulum. Gravity is also functioning.
Yes, sir.
If the length is shrinking in the winter, what will be the effect on time?
Sir, as they are directly proportional, so time will slow down.
So that was the question of mine.
Yes, sir.
Kitchen gardening you are having.
Yes, sir.
So what do you do in that hobby of yours?
Sir, we have a small garden at our home in which we grow vegetables for our daily day-to-day purposes, and depending on the season, like for example in summer we grow different vegetables and in winter we grow different vegetables.
That's good. So which pesticides and fertilizers you use?
Sir, we don't use chemical fertilizers or pesticides. We use neem oil.
Neem oil.
Neem oil, sir, that can act as a pesticide and it is a fertilizer also. And sir, then homegrown compost we use out of the vegetable shells, etc.
Good.
In current scenario, honor killing continuously arises in Western UP, Haryana and Punjab. Rajasthan also. What are main causes of honor killing? Literacy are continuously increasing, social awareness increasing, but social problem continuously increasing.
Sir, honor killing is basically related to the patriarchal culture of these states, where the male members of a family think that it is the woman is duty bound to marry according to a man's choice. So when she does not do that, they think that their honor has lost, and that results in killings in certain cases.
What is commercial surrogacy?
Commercial surrogacy. Sir, surrogacy is a technique of giving birth through another mother using various techniques such as IVF. So commercial surrogacy means surrogacy for commercial purposes, in which you take money for giving birth to a child.
What is legal provision in India about commercial surrogacy?
Sir, recently there was a bill which was introduced in the Lok Sabha, in which the commercial surrogacy has been banned, but only altruistic surrogacy has been allowed under the provisions of that bill.
Point out some feature of National Women Policy 2016. National Women Empowerment Policy 2016.
Sir, I'm sorry, sir. I'm not read about this. I'll have to read about it.
Next question. What is the basic differences inclusive development and social development?
Sir, inclusive development means a development which is equitable and which has equal effect on all the members of the society. It results in the growth of all the sections of the society, irrespective of their economic or social status. And social development is a very important part of inclusive development, as it will help in the improvement of health, education and women status, etc.
What is the role of mathematics in public administrations?
Sir, mathematics has a very important role in public administration. It helps us in analyzing data and calculating various indicators such as the birth rate, death rate, which can help in analyzing the demographics of a nation. And sir, with the advent of data, e-governance and data, the analytics part is also governed by the rules of mathematics. And sir, then there is a concept of extrapolation in mathematics, which helps us in calculating the future GDP and etc. Estimates of the GDP, which helps us in making appropriate policies.
What is green GNP?
Sir, green GNP is the gross national product, which includes the effect of the growth on the environment. The environmental implications are also included in this.
Who formulated concept of green GNP?
Sir, I am not aware of this.
My last question. What is basic difference Committee and commission.
Committee and commission. Sir, I'm not very well aware of this.
Thank you, sir. In your interest, you've written baking.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me the difference between a cake and a brownie?
Cake and a brownie. Ma'am, cake can be of any flavor. It can be either chocolate or a fruit or a vanilla flavor. Brownie is a chocolate flavored pastry. So it can be made from a cake also. If we cut the cake into small pieces, then chocolate cake into small pieces, then we get a brownie.
Are you sure?
Ma'am, as per my knowledge, I think it is this.
Okay. You might have heard about feminization of agriculture.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please elaborate on the concept and tell me the pros and cons of it?
Ma'am, agriculture is basically a rural activity in India. So, with the large scale migration of men to the cities in search of works, so agriculture is dominated by women these days, and that is called the feminization of agriculture. And ma'am, pros are that women are actively participating in the labor force, which is helping to make them economically independent. While ma'am, cons are that agriculture is not a very productive activity. So while women labor can be used elsewhere in other productive activities, but they are concentrated in the agriculture part.
Okay, great. Recently, you must have heard about data localization as well as data colonization. Now, in this background, can you elaborate on the significance of data in current times?
Ma'am, it is said that data is the new oil. So it is forming the basis of our planning, economy, social indicators, etc. And hence, both data localization and data colonization are two very important concepts. Ma'am, data localization means that the data should be analyzed and processed within the physical borders of a nation. And data colonization means that the multinational companies, they are using data to frame policies which can be used to indirectly colonize a nation. So it is an indirect type of colonization which is happening in the modern world these days through the use of data and technology.
Okay, and what are the various challenges we as a country might face in this data colonization?
Ma'am, there was a case during the US elections in which the elections were influenced by the alleged Russian companies using the citizen data of USA. So that is an example of what data colonization can lead to. It can lead to influencing the choices of citizens and the sensitive personal data that can be stolen and which can have many cybersecurity implications also.
Nice. Do we have in India, do we have some provisions to help us with such problems related to data and impacts on privacy?
Ma'am, government has a framework for cybersecurity which contains various bodies such as Cyber Emergency Response Team and Critical Information Protection Center. But ma'am, we do not have a thorough legislation related to data protection. But government formed a committee regarding the personal and non-personal data. So we are in the process of having a legislation for data protection.
So just last question, since we do not have any such framework for protection of data in India, do you think data localization that we are pursuing so vividly, with such fervor, should India be localizing data as such?
Ma'am, if we talk about the sensitive and the critical personal data, then I feel that needs to be localized because that can have implications on the security and the sovereignty and integrity of the nation. For the non-personal data, even if it is not localized as it is of general nature, so that can be outside the provisions of localization, but personal data which is sensitive and critical, that needs to be localized.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Welcome, Navkiran. How are you?
Sir, I am good.
My first question is, what is the difference between 1230 and 1250?
12:30
and 1250.
So 12:30 is a multiple of 3, while 12:50 is not, as far as...
Okay. So when we see 1230, that means I'm telling the time.
Okay, okay. I thought numbers, sir. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You have a hobby of kitchen gardening.
Yes, sir.
In this regard, can we say that if we promote the women, especially the women of our country, promote kitchen gardening and organic form of productivity in this, we can solve the problem of price hike in vegetable?
Sir,
Do you have certain kind of data?
Sir, I don't have quantified data in this, but as an activity, as a country, we frequently suffer from price hikes in vegetables. So, kitchen gardening can help in that regard to a certain extent, because growing local vegetables, and that too through women, it will provide them also jobs. So, by selling them in the local markets of towns and cities, it can help to an extent.
Okay. See, recently in Punjab, as you come from Punjab,
Yes, sir.
recently in Punjab, farmers are shifting towards the cotton cultivation.
Yes.
They are devoting their land more of production, of paddy production. Why this shift from wheat to paddy, and why Ludhiana is becoming one of the textile hub?
Sir, Punjab has been predominantly a wheat and paddy cultivating state, but sir, it has also led to a crisis in agriculture because of the depleting groundwater levels. Sir, according to a report, in certain areas of Punjab, the groundwater has depleted by more than 9.2 meters. So that is leading to many ecological and health related issues. And sir, secondly, due to lack of diversification, the incomes of the farmers have reached a stagnant level. Hence, the government, both the state and the center, is promoting diversified agriculture in Punjab, and hence the farmers are moving towards cotton and maize cultivation to solve the ecological impacts also, and to diversify the agriculture which suits the climate of the state. And sir, regarding Ludhiana, so Ludhiana has been called the Manchester of India because of its being a hub of the textile industries. So in this regard, sir, locally grown cotton cultivation will boost the industry also in Ludhiana, because the raw material will be very easily available.
See, Ludhiana is becoming the textile hub. While for producing textile, we need humid kind of climate throughout the year. That is why Ahmedabad and Mumbai became textile hubs. What happened in Ludhiana, and what kind of technology they adapted for it?
Sir, nowadays humidity can be induced using various machines inside the factories. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that is what is being done in Ludhiana. And sir, then Ludhiana is an expert in hosiery. So in that, we, instead of using cotton, we use wool. So that is basically the specialization of the city. So for the cotton part, we induce humidity using artificial machines, and for wool part, the climate is suitable in winters.
Okay. See, after the Green Revolution, especially in Punjab, we see soil desertification, problem of soil desertification is increasing. Government of India pledged in UNCCD that they are going to recover the land, 96 lakh hectare of land.
Yes, sir.
What does Punjab's say about it?
Sir, Punjab suffers from a major problem of land desertification, and we have a threat of becoming a desert if we don't change our agriculture patterns. And hence, the government of Punjab is also promoting a diversified agriculture in which we use less water guzzling crops like cotton and maize, etc., so that the problem of desertification, becoming a desert, can be avoided, because many areas are undergoing desertification in Punjab, especially the region which is bordering Rajasthan, the districts Fazilka, etc.
Have you heard the word sixth mass extinction?
Yes, sir.
Is there any significance, or is there any point you can relate it to the practice of agriculture which is being done in Punjab?
Sir, sixth mass extinction basically refers to the large scale extinction of species that is happening due to human induced changes in Earth's climate. And sir, desertification is one of the effects of human induced climate changes only. So sir, if we go on this path of desertification and if Punjab becomes a desert, then much of the diversity, biodiversity and ecology will be lost. So in smaller animals will have a threat of undergoing extinction. So in that way, we'll be contributing to the sixth mass extinction.
So can we say that the practice of monoculture is one of the major cause or may become the major cause? Can we say that?
Yes, sir. Monoculture of wheat and paddy is going to be a major cause of desertification in Punjab.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
Navkiran, in Punjab Civil Services, you are. What is that problem which bothers administration very frequently?
Sir, in Punjab? Sir, in Punjab, we are suffering from a lack of growth, which is very much less as compared to the national growth. So, in popular media, administrators and bureaucrats are blamed for that. So, that is one of the issues.
So, the local people accept administration or they are in their own way?
Sir, it is a mixed balance. There is a trust deficit there is occurring, but because there are many good officers in the state, people have trust in governance also. And with new age e-governance and Suvidha Kendras, etc., some trust deficit has been restored.
Right. Good. So, thank you so much, Navkiran. Your
welcome,
interview is over. You may go now. We'll call you for the feedback after a minute.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. May I come in, sir?
Please come. Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
So, Navkiran, what do you think about your performance today?
Sir, it was fine.
Fine. UPSC interview call you had earlier?
No, sir, this is the first call. Yes.
Okay. So, any improvement that you feel that, okay, I should have done this or not?
Sir, I made a speech blunder while speaking. So, I used a Hindi word while it is an English interview. So, that I need to improve.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir. And sir, I need to work on the knowledge part, I think. Yes, sir.
Okay. There was, when you are not knowing, so there was a sound,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
we could notice it for 5-10 minutes.
Okay, sir.
But anyway, it is natural. So, natural flow is always good. You cannot entangle with this in the 15 days time or so given. But yes, of course, if anything that we can improve upon, slight things, of course. So, what dress you are going to wear?
Sir, I'm going to wear a sari.
Sari. The hairstyle will be the same.
No, sir, I'll tie my hair.
Is that this side?
Sir, I'll make a ponytail only, simple.
Okay. Because if it is like this, going, so the skin is, you can say the face is visible more and maybe it is better. Right. And so I feel so.
So, like, what kind of. Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Otherwise, ma'am, this creates a little bit of.
Yes, ma'am, the hair keep on coming on the face and yes.
So perpendicularness in the face is better than the rounded face.
Yes, yes.
And when you tie the hair backside, pony shape or the juda, so that time the face glow is better.
Okay.
So this was one input, and other than this, like the mathematics, the applied part of it, they can ask
Yes, sir.
what will be the use in the years to come as a civil servant. I don't know what all question they may ask.
Yes,
How many
sir.
words you have written in the main examination? That calculation they may ask.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then from geophysics physicist back and the work you will be having questions. What I feel, but your overall persona is good. You should get good marks. Okay, provided you are performing on the real interview day the same performance you are giving what you have given today. And nothing more to say, just keep listening to the current affairs program on All India Radio or any standard TV debate of the prominent channel. BBC London is one, but then LSTV, RSTV debates. Okay. Then nothing more to be told. Under the kitchen gardening, baking cakes and all, there were questions. There may be more questions.
Yes, sir. I'll prepare.
You have prepared well?
Sir, I'm working on it actually.
Okay, that's fine. And that's it. Little exercise in evening or morning time will also be keeping you fit. You are under the probation obligation right now going on?
Yes, sir. But I took a leave for some time.
Till your interview?
Yeah, till
29th, till 29th.
Yes,
After 29th, you will be joining.
Yes, sir.
That's a good decision. Then that's all. Wish you all the very best. One more thing, IPS you have kept after IRS, I think so.
Yes, sir.
Reason?
Sir, because I think I am more suitable for the civil administration side, and I've kept IRS over IPS because, sir, I'm good with numbers. I am from a technical background, and IRS is a bit of a mathematical job, so I think I'll be more suitable for that instead
No, otherwise
of IPS.
you don't have any physical inability to join
No,
IPS.
no, sir.
And if your marks are in the same domain,
Sir, even if I'm allotted IPS, I'll be very happy, but I just made
but then
this.
justification part, you have to understand it.
Yes, sir.
So you can say, sir, that was the personal choice. It is maybe that the interest I am having for managing the things that way. But yes, uniform services are also good if I get, but that was the personal choice that I had to put.
Yes, sir.
But then they may grill you further.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have been grilled in a mock interview also for this.
So what justification you gave then?
Sir, in that, like for IAS, they asked me to explain my whole choice up to the number 5 for keeping IPS at the number 5. So, sir, I am already working in civil services, so IAS was my natural choice to be kept at first one. And sir, for IFS, international relations and diplomacy as subjects, they interest me a lot, and I kept IRS over
There was no input from your family for this preference?
my parents gave me a freedom.
Freedom.
Yes, sir.
Because that could have been the natural force in response to say this, but I don't want you to be artificial for that. You have put this choice and you have to back this confidently. That was the personal choice, and maybe I may get the uniform service, but I will be happy that if I get into the pure management domain. Okay, there may be questions, but then all the very best again. If you want to ask any other question, you may.
Sir, in the interview panel, sir, like I have worked in ONGC also in oil and gas, and then now I'm working in the civil services side also. So, like, how do I convincingly explain this, that the switching of jobs?
See, this is the question they will be asked. They may ask again. So you have already switched over to the civil services in the state. They may say that, okay, you are already doing well, you are a civil servant, then why again here? It is an improvement from the previous job. But then you may say, sir, I have the choice and I have to try honestly, and I will be trying. Okay, and then switch over part, you may say, sir, civil services is providing unparalleled recognition, better terms and condition for a female especially, and the total family feel good about it. Then secondary, I can do work effectively in the general domain. That is the secondary part. But to be very frank, better terms and condition, unparalleled recognition, good status. That is the response you must make.
Okay,
If they are able to hear this, they won't be asking much question. Yes, if civil service selection is also very unpredictable domain, so I had the backing that okay, I will be able to get some job if I am not able to.
Yes,
if I
sir.
might have not able to crack this exam.
Yes, sir.
You have already cracked one in the state, so that's how it is, and it is the truth.
Yes, sir, it is the truth, obviously.
ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
So again,
Thank
ठीक
you,
है?
sir.
All the very best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.